You built a better product. It's faster, cheaper, more efficient in every way on a spreadsheet. And yet, you're sitting there, watching your competitor with a product that's clearly worse, closing more deals, gaining loyal customers, and dominating the market. If you've ever felt this, the problem isn't your product. The problem is the game you think you're playing. You think you're playing chess, all logic and strategy, but the market plays poker, psychology, signals, and bold bluffs. You're optimizing the pieces while your opponent is reading the player. This is the core idea behind Alchemy, a groundbreaking book by Rory Sutherland, one of the most brilliant minds in modern advertising. He calls it psychologic, where emotional truth beats rational logic. And it's the secret weapon the smartest business minds use to win without always having the best product. In this video, I won't give you the same old marketing tips. Instead, we'll explore a completely different framework, not about what you do, but how you think. We'll break down 3 powerful psychological levers from Rory Sutherland's mindset, so you can stop playing a game of logic in a market driven by emotion. Why spreadsheets alone aren't enough. Traditional business advice always revolves around optimization. Optimize cost, optimize speed, optimize features. We obsess over metrics, spreadsheets, and the belief that people always make the most rational decisions. But Rory Sutherland points out a harsh truth: the human brain isn't a processor. It's a survival machine, millions of years old, built to make decisions that are good enough, quickly, not the perfect choice after analyzing every piece of data. This machine runs on something called psychologic. It doesn't care about absolute value, it cares about relative value. It doesn't trust data, it trusts signals. It doesn't chase optimization, it seeks certainty and avoids regret. That's why a familiar brand, even if it costs more, often outsells a newer, better one. Buyers don't choose the best product, they choose the one least likely to make them look foolish. They're satisficing, picking something that feels safe enough to avoid psychological and social risk. Once you realize you're not selling to a spreadsheet, but to a complex, emotional, biased primate brain, everything changes. You will stop trying to be 10% more logical and start aiming to be 100% more compelling. And here's how to do it. 3 strategic levers of psychologic. Lever 1. The reframe. Logic teaches us to find the best possible solution to a given problem. Psychologic teaches us that reframing the problem itself often creates far more value. A classic example Rory Sutherland shares is about Eurostar, the high-speed train connecting London and Paris. In 2009, when Eurostar was losing passengers to airlines, engineers proposed an expensive solution: spend over $8 billion to rebuild the entire rail system, cutting the journey time from 3 hours and 20 minutes to 2 hours and 40 minutes. But Sutherland asked a different question: how can we make the journey more enjoyable? His solution focused on psychology rather than engineering. Invest a fraction of that money to install Wi-Fi, serve free champagne, or even hire attractive models to serve passengers throughout the trip. The result? People might actually wish the journey lasted longer. The key insight here is this: the problem wasn't the length of the trip, it was the experience during it. Now, take a look at the biggest challenge in your business right now and try reframing it. Instead of asking, "How can I lower the price of my product?" ask, "What in the buying process is making customers anxious about the price?" Because maybe the problem isn't the price, it's a lack of trust. Instead of asking, "How can I speed up delivery?" ask, "How can I make the waiting feel more enjoyable or more valuable?" Just like Domino's did with their pizza tracker. Instead of anxiously waiting in silence, customers can see each step of the process. The pizza is being prepared. The pizza is going into the oven. The delivery driver is on the way. With just a few simple status updates, Domino's transformed a boring waiting period into an engaging experience, making customers feel informed and in control. So stop chasing better answers. Start asking smarter questions. Lever 2. Master the signal. In a world of uncertainty, people use small signals to make big decisions. A strong signal is costly and hard to fake. That's what makes it a believable sign of hidden quality. Logic says packaging is just there to protect the product. Psychologic says packaging is a strong signal of how much care went into the product itself. Think about opening an Apple product. The way the box is designed, the perfect fit, That subtle resistance when you peel the seal, none of it is random. Every detail is a signal to your brain. If we care this much about the box, imagine how much we cared about the chip inside. A law firm might spend millions on a prime office location with mahogany interiors, not because it helps their lawyers work better, but because it sends a signal to clients. We're so successful, we can afford things we don't need. You can trust us. So look at every customer touchpoint in your business and ask yourself, what signal is it sending? Your website loads slowly? The signal, we're careless, your time isn't important to us. Your quote email is full of typos? The signal, we're unprofessional. We'll probably make mistakes in your project too. You show up to an important meeting in a wrinkled shirt? The signal, this opportunity doesn't matter to me. Find one small detail that seems unimportant and invest in making it excellent. It could be redesigning your business card, rewriting your email signature, or simply making sure every document you send is visually perfect. Because small signals build big trust. Lever 3. The counterintuitive leap. Some of the most breakthrough ideas in business look completely irrational through the lens of traditional logic. They break the rules, and that's exactly why they work. Take Red Bull. If you launched a soft drink in the 1,980 seconds, logic would tell you, make it taste better than Coke, put it in a bigger can, sell it cheaper. Red Bull did the opposite. It tasted weird, it came in a tiny can, and it was expensive. Logically, that's a recipe for disaster. But psychologically, it's pure genius. The weird taste hints that this isn't just a regular soft drink, it feels like a potent, functional formula. The tiny can suggests it's highly concentrated, so a small dose is enough. And the high price reinforces the perception that it must be powerful. What looked like weaknesses in logic turned out to be powerful psychological triggers, ones that helped Red Bull position itself in a completely new category: energy drinks. So have the courage to experiment with counterintuitive ideas. Running a service business? Instead of lowering your price, try raising it significantly and add an unprecedented results guarantee. Have a flaw in your product you've always tried to hide? Try turning it into a feature, a proof of uniqueness. Just like Volkswagen once did with their bold ad for the Beetle, ugly is only skin deep. Sometimes, the most logical path is also the most crowded. A counterintuitive leap might just land you in a space with no competition. From tactics to sustainable competitive advantage. When you start applying psychologic, you're not just changing tactics, you're building a sustainable competitive advantage that your competitors can't easily copy. First, you gain an asymmetric advantage. While your competitors pour money into improving their product by 5%, you can achieve equal or even greater results by changing a single word in your messaging, tweaking your packaging, or reframing the problem. You win through cleverness, not budget. Second, you create a deeper emotional connection. By speaking directly to the unconscious brain of your customer, you generate affection and loyalty that goes far beyond features. People may copy your product, but they can't replicate how you make customers feel. Third, you unlock new sources of growth. Logic only optimizes what already exists. Psychologic helps you discover entirely new opportunities, untapped markets, simply by looking at human behavior through a different lens. We've been taught that business success comes from working harder, faster, and being more logical. But the greatest breakthroughs don't come from fighting human nature, they come from understanding it and working with it. The 3 levers you just learned, reframing the problem, mastering the signal, and making the counterintuitive leap, aren't abstract theories. They're strategic tools. They're your weapons in the battle for market perception. Here's my challenge for you. Over the next 7 days, pick just one of these levers. Apply it to a real challenge in your business. Maybe that's rewriting the headline on your website. Maybe it's changing how you present a pricing proposal. Or maybe it's finally testing a crazy idea you've been keeping in the drawer for too long. After 7 days, if even one small shift creates a noticeable result, just imagine what happens when you master all 3. If this video helped you think differently, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos ahead.